July 2020. A lot of things are going on in the world. Some crazy shit. But, you know, I am of the opinion that, this is what needs to happen so things can get better. Um, I tattoo in Berkeley. Um, my daughter likes to make fart sounds. She's here with me today. Due to the COVID-19, we are still closed here until possibly July 15th is what I hear. I don't know. But I have been okay. What do I say this? I'm not an actor or anything. I don't know how to do this shit. But anyways, with this whole COVID thing, COVID, as my dad would say, there is, there's a lot of concern about safety and cleanliness, basically, let's say, and disease, germ, whatever transmission. I am not a medical professional. I just have the knowledge that I have picked up over time. There is, I will, I mean, probably a lot of tattooers are going to get mad at me, but there's not a lot of, shall we say, required knowledge for being a tattooer in that area. It's left up to us to figure it out for ourselves. And, I don't, for me, I've done what I thought was best. I have seen, other people go maybe beyond what I do. Now, I've been in a place where I definitely went pretty far with it. I got nicknamed Dexter for a while just because it looked like I was going to kill somebody in the room or something. A lot of plastic wrap, let's say. I have somewhat relaxed on my OCD for that, but only in areas where I thought it would be okay, basically. Just, really thinking about the situation. And I don't want to, say my way is the right way or say you have to do things the way I do it, but I just want to show what I do and the thinking behind it. So if it's something you're concerned about as a tattooer or as a client or something, then you can apply it to your situation, I guess. There is a lot of times a lack of cleanliness gets justified by saying things like, well, just go over to fucking Thailand and they're just, you go to the temples and they're just poking people with a stick or some shit. It's not, and it's like, yeah, okay, but people are going there for that. They have that in their heads already. That's what they want. Here in America, with health codes and shit, where we have to, I have to talk, I don't have to, but I tattoo EMTs, I tattoo nail techs, I tattoo nurses and hairdressers, and all of their training is way more than what we have to go through. And that's a fact. Like, that's a fact. All we got to do is take a bloodborne pathogens course online, which isn't that fucking hard. And very few of those actually have anything to do with tattooing or not tattooing specific. I personally started out in a shop that was run by a piercer who was involved with the APP. The actual piercer who trained me, because where I started, there were in the first year, there was like 8 different tattoo artists that came through until I finally got my mentor, Adam Roach, this guy right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little joke. And so I got a lot of information from that and then applied it to tattooing. And then some of the tattooers who came through showed me some things as well. But I've been trying to keep myself aware of this kind of a thing, and I've had to search for the information myself because I haven't personally been able to find it easily. So I'm going to go through some of the things I have found at this point. Also, I'm trying, just because, you know, it's where I'm from, kind of a hippie, I'm trying to keep it as eco-friendly as possible. I'm looking for ways to, you know, create effective barriers, but things that will biodegrade, but that won't break down with the products we use, things like that. I have actually done some testing with these things. Like, I've taken stuff like these little, you know, compost bags or little poop bags or whatever, and, you know, it's like, okay, well, let's fill them up with green soap or petroleum jelly or coconut oil or whatever the fuck you want to use, and leave it in there, see how long until it breaks down, right? So far all the stuff I used has held up. It's good. Well, some stuff has not. I will say waxed paper does not work. It does not. It is not an effective liquid barrier or some shit. I don't know. Some of the things. So I mean, I don't really know where this is gonna go. This is gonna jump around a lot. I'm sorry if you have to listen to my shit, but if there's something here that can help you, then great. That's why I'm doing this. I have not planned this out at all, so I'm just gonna jump around until I feel like I've said what I need to say. First things first, I am here in Berkeley. I work at Industrial. I'm super stoked to be here. It's the kind of environment that I've been kind of looking for. And I am allowed to do this. They allow me to do my crazy thing here of being a total OCD nut. I get made fun of because I have 3 paper towel dispensers in my room, but I just like having paper towels close by. I'm sorry, it's just what I like. You know, feel safe, and I want other people to feel safe too. This is there's a lot of shady shit going on in tattooing. It's not, you know, I'm not the fucking police. It's not some shit I can stop. All I can do is say this is what I'm gonna do, and I hope people like that and give me money. So that's basically what this is about. Why should you come and get a tattoo from me, right? I don't know. Fuck it. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we got. I'm not actually doing any tattoos today, clearly, because it's COVID season or whatever the fuck. But I'm going to be touching things that I'm going to be using later. So Try and be good about that. Let's see here. We got this. One of these. So, there's a lot of things that are available now that were not until recently. These gloves are some of those things. You get the box. Show you. I'm stoked. This is kind of like some unofficial advertisements as well, or some shit. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but this is the stuff I like. So, this is a company called Showa, like the Showa era of Japan. Emperor, whatever. If you know that shit. These are biodegradable nitrile. So they're made from nitrile. It's a petroleum product, but there's some kind of fucking additive that they put into it when they mix the juice. I don't know. And apparently it makes it break down into fucking like, they say, you know, they have some chart and it's like dirt, water, and gas or some shit. And it supposedly breaks down in landfill, so it doesn't need industrial composting temperatures or any shit like that. It's supposed to break down by itself fairly quickly within just 6 months or something. I don't know. When I read it, it sounded cool, so I got them. They feel nice. They work. It's there's not that much difference that I feel between the regular black nitrile ones. You know, they make, now I found these actually I ordered them from Airgas. So these were like an industrial product, and they make. This is the thing of trying to find things out for yourself, but they make them in other colors too. There's different thicknesses. There's different ones. They make ones that aren't biodegradable, but I got to use a lot of gloves. This is just what I want to do. So that's one thing. Really like these gloves. There is a company that's starting up now. It is called Greenhouse Tattoo Supplies. I believe that's what it's called. They're in England, London, something. A tattooer named Lucy something. I don't know. I can't remember her name. I'm saying her because I've never met her. I don't know her actual pronoun, what she likes to use, but she looks like a her to me, so I'm going with that. Doing really cool stuff. Making like ink caps and clipcord sleeves and stuff like that. Last I heard, it was all set up to go, but then the COVID thing happened, you know, and she is doing it herself mostly, and so just trying to source all these things and get them distributed places is difficult, but it's supposed to be available very soon. I'm very excited about this. This is stuff I've been trying to do with other friends of mine, other tattooers and stuff. We tried to do it, but it's a big deal, like getting patents and getting sourcing the materials, you know, getting molds made, all this stuff. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. We could not pull it off, so I'm very glad that this Lucy person has been able to do it. So, kind of what, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around, but like, as I said before, like, I'm not going in, if you're in the, you know, I want to get poked by a stick on the beach, that's your deal. Cool, go do that. What I'm talking about is how to apply what is known in, you know, and how to take things from basically the medical field and take that knowledge and be like, well, we are actually poking holes in skin. There's blood in there. As a tattooer, I know you're sitting around, you know, you got colors on there. It's like, oh, I'm just fucking painting or whatever. Like, you don't really see the blood a lot of times. You can just tell yourself like, oh, it's just fucking paint, whatever. But it's not. Like, there's fucking blood in there. And the piercer I was talking about, Ronan, actually, he put it to me. He was like, look, everyone who comes in here has AIDS or something, or MRSA or some shit, right? Or just think of it that way. That everyone has a horrible disease and they lied about it on their release form. And then the next person doesn't. But then they do also. Like, it switches, you know, like they don't, but then they get it somehow, but they didn't get it from you, right? So just think of it that way. Like, everyone coming in is dangerous, and you have to make it safe for them, because first of all, if they do have AIDS, then that's they're immunocompromised, so you should be as clean as possible. And secondly, you don't want that on the next person. You don't want to bring that home to your family. Like, this is, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm fucking neurotic, but this is what I think about. So if you're neurotic like me, then maybe this will help you. La la la. Okay, another thing I found is this stuff. So this is almost really cool. It is called Bonnie Bio Biodegradable Compostable Cling Wrap, and it's made from corn or some shit. But the thing is, every recycle that later. Every foot or so, you know, because I'm in America, we don't use a fucking metric system. Every 12 inches or however many centimeters it's perforated, right? And that, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, there's the fucking perforations there, right?
Cursor.
I'm cursing. I know. I gotta pay. We gotta make a swear jar or something like that. I got caught cursing. Oh no. But this is a tattoo shop. I'm sorry. This is part of what happened. I'm working on it. But I'm kind of, a lot of this stuff makes me upset. I get emotional. Start to curse. It's kind of what happens. Yourself. Okay, so this to me means, okay, we can layer it, overlap, do shit like that. Some people are using this to wrap tattoos. Maybe that's cool, but as a barrier to put on my tray, it is not functional for me. I'm like, nope, sorry. I got it, but it doesn't. I'm like, oh, that's a disappointment. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Sorry, I'm mad. Anyway, so what could I find that works? And what we got here is this shit. Swearing. Some more. So much swearing. God, jeez. This is, if you care. Oh, wow. So condescending. Parchment baking paper, right? So there is parchment paper that is treated with silicone, right? Is one of the ways they do it. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. But then they also treat it with, what do they use? It's like some kind of acid or something. What is it? I don't know. But what it does, they treat it with some kind of acid, which closes up the pores or something like that. I don't know. But basically, this is watertight. And I've left water on it overnight, and it stays there. It beads up on here. It's totally fine. So this is like the eco-friendliest barrier covering I can find so far. Now this stuff that the gloves are made out of, this plastic that they make the little poo-poo bags out of, um, because it's, you know, the market for these products is certain things. They're like, well, we can sell it for this, right? So there's only certain sizes. You can't get a big ass roll of this stuff yet. But hopefully in the future, and this is part of why I hope this gets out there, is to encourage people to make this stuff, because I want to fucking buy it, and I know a lot of other people do too. And it's like we're going through a lot of, we make a lot of trash, you know, and I like fishes. I like to eat the fishes. I'm not a vegan. But even as not a vegan, I want there to be fishes so that I can eat the fishes and there will still be some fishes left to do their fishy things, right? Makes sense. Okay, moving on. So, there are people who are like, hey man, I'm not gonna bag my machine because if I bag it, then it gets hot. I think a lot of those people are the same people who don't tune their machines and they just buy a new one or they get someone else to tune them. Just my opinion. Your machine shouldn't be getting hot because there's a fucking bag on it. I'm not an electrical engineer, but I'm just saying, I've bagged them and they didn't get fucking hot. I don't really use these anymore because I'm into the cartridge thing. I like those. Yet another thing where there's like a bunch of, you know, it's like, oh, I'm using more plastic. True. They could be designed out of this whatever biodegradable plastic somehow. It's possible. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe it will. I hope so. The reason I switched to cartridges is because I like the ability to have different needle sizes at my disposal all the time. Yes, my dear. What? Oh, you're just watching? Okay. And I could, if I did that before, so the thing about, I mean, I don't know. I don't need to get into all this shit. I'm gonna fucking teach you how to tattoo. I'm swearing in front, like directly in front of my kid now. It's horrible. But most of these machines are set up to do a thing, right? They have a sweet spot of a certain speed and power, right? Now, that's great. That's great. And for people who like them and they work for them, that's fine. It didn't work for me. When I kind of went off on my own finally after my apprenticeship, I was lucky and got to start doing some like cool big pieces and stuff. Lots of different colors and all kinds of weird stuff. I was super into Nick Baxter and what's the dude's name? The fucking crazy bio dude, Marcus Leonard. And for me, you know, and I don't know what they use or whatever, but for me, I wanted to have the pieces I was designing, you know, and my style isn't like theirs or whatever, but you know, very influenced by what they did. I was like, I needed to go back from like, you know, little needles to big needles, basically, let's say, right? And in order to do that, I had like 5 machines out. And then it's like, okay, I want a little needle, but I want it slower or softer than this one, and then so I'm like changing the needle grouping settings on the machines that I have, and it's like it just gets to be like it's ridiculous. And trying to do that while it's bagged is difficult. Also, it's possible. It is possible, but it's difficult. So I got this thing, you know, the FK Irons Spectra Edge X. Now, I have two now, luckily, because motor went out. Actually, I had the thing froze up on it because I think I didn't oil it or something. It's probably my fault, but they totally fixed it. It was awesome, free, sweet. They even sent me my old motor back and stuff. So if I feel like I want to build something, I can. I don't know. I'll just leave it to them. So now I put another different little hoodilly whacker thingy on here because I found this other thing. So what you call it? T-Tech sells these, right? T-Tech sells these metal cartridge grips, right? Very nice. Nice weight. They're reusable. It's not a disposable thing, which for the cartridge thing is nice. It's like less shit to throw away. These can be autoclaved. It's wonderful. I got a few of them. Back up. And then, but, right, they have the big hole, right? And these are set up for the little holes now, right? Because there was like the big hole, little hole changeover thing that happened. So, what did I do? You can get the, just the bars, right? It's just a bar and it's a threaded end. So, with my connections in the piercing industry, I found a ball that fit. I can't remember what the size is now, but if you know a piercer who has externally threaded ball ends, which are kind of a no-no these days, but some people still have them and still use them, and they're fine for that. I don't know, I'm probably making some piercers mad, but I'm glad that the piercing shop across the street still had these. So I made my own little thing, stainless steel, fully autoclavable and cleanable. It's a wonderful thing, I think. And so now I have a non-disposable setup. Only the cartridges get thrown away. There are, what is the place? Sharps Compliance or some shit. They advertise on their website, a place I found out about from Nick Maxer, actually. He advertised them on his website. What you do? They say that they, sterilize, disinfect, whatever, all their sharps, and then use it in construction materials. So they're making rebar or some shit. Now, I don't know what happens to the plastic in that. I personally tried and failed to find a medical waste company that didn't just incinerate everything. And I've talked to people on the phone, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we what did they say they did? They're like, yeah, we they said they autoclaved it, and then but then they were like, and it becomes and then they like compost the ash or something like that." And I was like, wait, but an autoclave doesn't make ash. I think you're full of shit. So finding this information can be a struggle, but you gotta just keep trying, basically what I'm saying. And yeah, I don't know. I was looking into trying to make cartridges out of metal. I don't know, I'm trying to teach myself fucking AutoCAD on my iPad, like, but it's, there's this place in town, what was it called, Human Made or something. They got like these, they got 3D printers and CNC machines and shit, and but I couldn't afford it. Like I can't do that right now. So if someone else can make that, great, and have some way that I can, you can buy just, and then maybe someone will start making needles with little tiny needle bars then you can just pop them in there and it's less waste. Who knows? I don't know. I can't do all that shit. All I can do is this. Talk at you people. Bitch and complain. Okay, other thing. Okay, what do we got? We got Capsule sells these paper ink caps. Pretty cool, because why? Because you can autoclave them. Yay! Pretty cool. And they're just fucking paper. They have, I do believe they have the silicone lining or some shit in there. But it's less, better, right? A little bit less. But yeah, what's her name with the greenhouse thing is going to making the plastic ones coming up soon. That's gonna be awesome. So this is like, basically what I'm saying is, there is a way to do things where it's safe, right? And, you know, we're coming back in a couple weeks, you know, I'm gonna be wearing this thing, tra-la-la, with the mask underneath, you know. My plan is to use a chemical disinfectant with a 1-minute kill time on that, right? So that it can be reused. Myself looking at the design of it, there's no foam on it. It comes apart into pieces. I can have a few of them, have one disinfecting and put them in rotation. I think it's okay. If you don't think so, send me an email or something. I'm on Instagram as Ninja Pleiades. If you can spell that, you can find me. It sounds cool and esoteric, but if you understand Ebonics, you know I'm just a dumbass. Yeah, any of this, please. Like, I want to know more. I want to be doing this better. If you know of things, please tell me. I'm doing this in the, what do you say? Not in the vein of, in the spirit of open communication and learning and moving things forward. I am technically a nobody in the tattoo industry. I'm just, this is a thing that I think is important, and this is what I have to offer, or something. This is my little thing to the thing. Anything else I can talk about? I don't know, you know? Give me your towels and little things. It's a good thing, right? Oh, these things, right? So, oh yeah, here's a, okay, I actually have a question. Okay, so here's the thing, right? We got the shavers, right? And now they're doing this thing, these have biodegradable wheat straw handles, right? Okay, but the tops are still plastic, you know, and, you know, that's the thing, right? So, what I looked into, and I got it for myself, and I've been practicing on myself now, is one of those old-timey razors, right? The metal ones, and you screw the little thing, and you put the little blade in there, right? Now, if they work great, right? And that is something that, you know, if you had a few of them, you could clean and autoclave those, as well as the handles. And then it's just the single blade that you're tossing in the sharps, right? And that's all that's going away. Seems pretty cool. Those things, it's a bit of an investment in the beginning to get them. You know, I got one for $30. It is, now the good ones that are made out of stainless steel are like a couple $100. Is this, it's like nickel plated copper or some shit, I don't know, or zinc or something, I don't know. Is it gonna hold up with repeated autoclavings? I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. I was just seeing if I could shave my own face and not cut myself, and it works great. But yeah, So okay, here's the thing. There were so these bags, all these kind of little things are all green, right? You can't fucking see through them. So I can't put it over my power supply and see through it. It's like, how can we make these products tattoo specific and feel good about them and all that kind of shit? I could use uh, this stuff and see through it. That's an option. I could wrap my machine with this also. That is an option. Um, it but with cling film, and this isn't really that clingy. No, I don't like myself. Um, but you need space in there to move around, right? So there were these bags for a long time. Workhorse Irons was carrying these bags, and they were these ones that were made out of corn or potato or whatever the fuck they were, uh, and they were awesome. And then they weren't able to get them from their supplier anymore, so they can't carry them, which sucks because I really like the bags. I am a person. I use the wireless foot switch and I bag it so I can kick it all around. I'm not rolling over cords. It's fucking awesome. I have been using this thing, the Critical, and I love it. I love uh, this RCA cord, and it's got magnets in it, so even if the connection loosens, it won't fall off. This is a wonderful design. I like it. But I now have this thing here, and it's pretty cool, right? It works great. You only get 0.5 of increments for voltage, but that's fine. It works. I've it's to turn it on and off. It's like I got it on there and I bag it, and then it's this thing of like, okay, boom, boom, like turning it on and off, right? Which is annoying. They're working on the foot switch. It's not quite out yet. I just saw some announcement that the foot switches and the app or some shit are gonna have this digital give shit in there, which is crazy. But I don't, like I said, I'm not an electrical engineer, but there's some kind of interruption or something that they do with it. I don't know. Sounds cool. We'll see. Personally, I like this machine. The ability to, changing the stroke you got to do separately, but that's part of why I have two. Why I wanted to have two is to have, a long and a short. And then the give is adjustable, and it actually, like, I notice it. I don't know. Some people say they don't notice it. I like it. It works great for me. It's easy to fucking clean. It all comes apart. I think it's a great design. For me personally, now that I have the steel tubes, I feel like I'm done. Like, I got my setup. It's cool. It's great. I still use my coils for doing shit like this. This is a big, giant piece of silicone. It's one of those big, it's a practice skin, basically, which you can get from a rubber company. They also make it in clear. Costs about $70 for a, what is that, 3x5 or some shit? What is that? Something like that. I don't know. But pretty cool. So I still use it for that because I still have a bunch of expired needles and disposable tubes for these things, and I'm like, well, and inks too. So it's like, well, I can just put it on that. It's not hurt nobody, right? What else? What else can I talk about? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, this is what I can do. Like, I can't. A lot of fucking creepy shit going on with tattooing. With the way the world is now, with, especially in this country, what we're talking about now, with race, gender identity, with, consent. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff on the table, and it's bringing up a bunch of hurt in people. And here at the shop, we're having these conversations. We're having these meetings about what can we do just to make people feel safe, right? And I am 44 years old, and I've lived through some stuff, and I've, you know, it's possible that I've just like, you know, gotten used to things, and maybe I'm not the best to speak on certain issues, you know, because I don't know, you know, it's not. I don't really speak well. I don't think. I fumble my words and stuff. This is what I think I can do or offer, where it's like a universal thing. I want everyone to feel safe, that I'm just doing my job well, and that I've taken the time to think about this stuff, because anyone could just say that. You know, it's like you go to a shop and you're like, well, it's a shop. They gotta, you know, like they take classes and stuff, right? There's a health inspector, right? It's like it's not always like that. And how do you know, right? So it's kind of like, you know, the floor is lava, you know, like, or the glitter analogy is great. You know, it's like, do you know about, you know, when you are setting up your station, are you thinking about how you're going to tear it down, right? So that you can touch things the least. Are you doing a clean hand and a dirty hand? Like, shit like that, you know, like, and there's not a, you know, there is a resistance to conformity within the tattoo community, which I totally get. That's fine. But having a consensus about dirty shit, I think, would be helpful. You know, I have no power or say in the matter. I can just do what I can do. And so that's what I'm doing. If anybody has any suggestions or helpful things, I'm all into it. I know people love the green soap thing, you know. I like the hippie soaps personally. I like that they're a bit drying. Find that helps. And it's just less, you know, it's like less variables is a thing that I think about, you know, because there's so many things that can go wrong with a tattoo. There's so many, you know, it's like you can, you know, and I just seen people just blame the client as their first choice. You know, it's like, oh, well, you must have fucked it up. You didn't do what I tell you. You didn't, oh, and it's like, I want to be sure it is their fault. Like, basically, I want to be solid and secure, and that I have done everything possible to make sure that the tattoo is going to come out great, and that I'm not going to fuck somebody up, because that would make me feel bad, that, like, you know, I've just ruined somebody's life, and I could have done something about it, you know, like, and if I could have, then, you know, if you know better, you got to do better. That's how I was raised. Whatever, you do your thing. Is that all I gotta fucking talk about now? I think so. I think I'm done. I think my soapbox is starting to creak under the pressure of my megalomania. Yeah, I think that's about it I want to talk about. But I just wanted to put it out there. Like, this is what I think about. This is what I'm about. this is what you can expect when you get a tattoo from me. And yeah, send me some Instagram links or some shit to people who are doing better than me, because I want to be around people who are better than me so that I can learn things. Yes. I think that's it. I think I'm done. Happy 4th of July. However you feel about that. It's a trigger situation for a lot of people. Yeah. Bye bye.